Welcome back to Cybersea of Galilee, DSMME, on this beautiful Wednesday of Easter week. Do you realize that Easter is such a great feast that we celebrate it for an entire octave coming from the Latin for 8, an entire octave. And so today is still in the Easter octave, and it is Wednesday. And we hear in the beautiful Gospel of St. Luke, chapter 24, about the disciples on the road to Emmaus. Now here they are, just like Mary Magdalene yesterday that we read about. They're dejected. Mary Magdalene was weeping. She's a woman. She's profuse with her tears. I don't know whether or not the disciples were weeping, but they felt dejected. They felt down. They felt like everything they had hoped for, remember we talked yesterday about the virtue of hope, was gone. So in some ways, the men were more pitiful than Mary Magdalene was. At least she retained hope. She went and sat by the tomb if that's the best that she could do to get close to him. But these disciples are walking away, and then a stranger comes up and he starts talking to them. What are you talking about? And they're like, where have you been? Don't you know what's going on? Haven't you heard about Jesus of Jerusalem? And we just had so many hopes for him and everything else, and he was crucified, and it's terrible, and where do we go, and what's life worth anymore, and there's just no point in living anymore. And he begins taking them to the scriptures and helping them realize that Christ fulfilled every bit of the scriptures. And what my favorite part is when he breaks the bread, because he's eating with them, because they said, why don't you just stay and eat with us, because you're fascinating. There's something about you that's renewing our hope. We don't know what it is, but you seem to know more than we do, and we need you, and stay and eat with us. And in the breaking of the bread, the blessing, they knew it was the Lord. And then he's gone again, and they look at each other and they say this beautiful line, were not our hearts burning within us when he spoke to us on the road? The red flowers, the burning of the heart. Are our hearts on fire with love of God? Or do we just pretend? Do we want them to be more on fire than they are? Do I hope that tomorrow my heart is much more inflamed than it is today? If the answer to all this is yes, we want inflamed hearts, then let us trust him no matter what situation. Trust him with your grades in school, trust him with your studies, trust him with your job and your professional work, trust him with your family, trust him with your children. Trust him in anything that he is asking for more trust. And if you do, you will feel your heart becoming more and more inflamed with the Easter resurrection joy. God bless you. Signing off from Cybersea of Galilee, DSMME. Have a beautiful Easter Wednesday.